Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching War Games by Badham, starring Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy. I don't believe I've seen any of Badham's films before, but I do know he made Saturday Night Fever, which is considered a classic. I've seen Matthew Broderick in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and that 90s Godzilla film. I've watched Ali Sheedy in only one film, another classic, The Breakfast Club. I don't know too much about War Games except that it's about a couple of kids that get mixed up in some sort of nuclear computer system, if I'm right. I'm actually looking forward to seeing some old school 80s technology and hopefully some good writing too. But that's all I expect from this film. Before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reactions to this film and over 100 movies, early access and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. Please consider being a patron, please subscribe to the channel, do check out my other videos, like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. War Games, Badham, Broderick, Sheedy, let's go.
Replacement team's here, sir.
Your mother's been very worried about you guys. The roads must be a bear, huh?
What roads?
Visibility.
They're going inside a vault full of computers. So is this the place where all the nuclear codes are actually stored? Look at the security. I love these boards with all these buttons and lights and stuff.
This is Dropkick with a red dash alpha message in 2 parts. November, Charlie, Tango, 0, Delta, Lima.
Enter launch code.
Entering launch code.
Is it me or does that guy look like a discount Michael Madsen?
Insert launch key.
Stand by.
Whoa. I thought this was some sort of drill, but the missiles are actually arming. Oh man, there's a lot of pressure on these two.
7, 8.
I wonder how they did these shots of the actual missiles. They look pretty real.
That's not the correct procedure.
Screw the procedure. I want somebody on the goddamn phone before I kill 20 million people.
Launch.
There we are at launch. Turn your key.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh. NORAD. Okay. That's where a lot of America's defense is done. But the music is not reflecting the seriousness of the situation, so I have to assume that was a drill after all, right? I'm not 100% sure what's happening. Let me just say I'm a big fan of these fonts. Very old school.
This was only a test?
It was a test.
I've spoken to each of these men. They all believed it is the real deal. I've ordered a complete reevaluation of our psychological screening procedure.
I think we ought to take the men out of the loop.
Well, that's a good idea though.
They're fine men. But in a nuclear war, we can't afford to have our missiles lying dormant in those silos.
The Whopper spends all its time thinking about World War III. The Whopper has already fought World War III as a game.
So it keeps running simulations.
It estimates Soviet responses to our responses to their responses and so on.
I wouldn't trust this overgrown pile of microchips any further than I can throw it.
I think I'm going to recommend McKittrick's idea to the president.
AI is a new technology now. Can you imagine, like 40 years ago, AI was barely at its infancy. So would you risk an unproven technology?
Before they are planted, will...
Back in the day when arcades were actually a thing.
I have a little present for you.
Ooh, showing it in front of the class.
Why do nitrogen nodules cling to the roots of plants?
Love?
Because you don't pay attention in class. Who first suggested the idea of reproduction without sex? Maybe you could tell us who first suggested the idea of reproduction without sex.
Your wife?
I thought he'd say your mom or something, but your wife is even funnier. That's something that hasn't changed. Schools and other public places like that just leave their passwords out in the open.
I'm sorry if I got you in trouble. trouble today. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, that's okay.
You're really into computers, huh?
Looks like it. He has a bunch of gadgets.
What are you doing?
Dialing into the school's computer.
Are those your grades?
Yeah.
And it's that easy to change a
You
grade.
can't do that.
Already done.
What are you doing?
I'm changing your biology grade.
I said change it back.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that it'll come and bite them in the butt later.
I guess I better get going. Bye.
She was intrigued, but she didn't like it, I guess. Oh no! And looks like the president took that dude's advice and is getting rid of the human element. Protovision.
Yeah, for Sunnyvale, California. The number for Protovision?
Oh! Look at those discs.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, she's definitely interested in him.
Can you still change it?
Oh, somebody changed the password.
Well, maybe they didn't. Can't we at least try?
He already did it. I know what he's doing. He's cold calling.
So I told my system to search for other computers in Sunnyvale, California.
You can go to jail for that.
Only if you're over 18.
Smartass.
I already changed it. You got a D?
You gave me a D?
No, you got an A.
You really give me an A.
Yeah.
Well, she likes that.
Thanks.
10 a.m.
Flight reservations.
Where should we go?
Yeah, the story's a little predictable, I mean. I think he accidentally connected to the NORAD system. Oh.
Oh my god.
So the supercomputer Whopper is being trained on these games. Holy crap, this is pretty much machine learning, which is prevalent nowadays, and this film predicted it almost 40 years ago. That's impressive.
Hi, Lightman.
Why don't you take a look at this? This didn't come from Protovision.
Looks military to me. Definitely military. You're not supposed to see any of that stuff. You'll never get in there.
Hey, I don't believe that any system is totally secure.
That's true.
You might look for a back door.
I can't believe it, Jim. That girl's standing over there listening and you're telling her about our back doors?
Mr. Potato Head.
So the film has really hardcore geeks, and I'm really enjoying this techno music as well. It's very early synth techno. Nowadays, if you enter a password or a username wrong too many times, they'll come and track you down. And this Falcon person is dead.
David here?
How do you do? Yeah, he's up in his room.
Well, I haven't seen you all week in school. Are you sick?
Oh.
He looks obsessed, and he's been at it all week.
He designed his computer so that it could learn from its own mistakes. If I could just get that damn password, I could play the computer.
They're literally one step behind actual machine learning.
Can't you write to him or call him somehow?
No, he's dead.
He wasn't very old.
Well, he was pretty old. He was 41.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's old.
He's 41. 41 is old, apparently.
That's his little boy. What's his name?
Joshua.
Wow.
Holy crap, it is that simple. He's in without a password, just the login username, connected directly to Whopper.
Shall we play a game?
Oh no.
Global, thermo, nuclear.
Dude, start with chess, don't start with global thermonuclear war.
Do you prefer a good game of chess?
There you go.
Wow. I'll be the Russians.
Please list primary targets.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, great.
Oh no. Again, beautiful set here. There was a lot of work that went into this.
Confidence is high.
What's a trajectory heading?
I have no
What's
idea.
this?
Trajectory.
Mr. President.
David! Now! You'll come down now. I want this cleared up right away.
We're gonna barbecue tonight. You want to invite your little friend?
Yeah, she kind of has a crush on him.
We're not being attacked. It's a simulation.
Thank goodness at least one of them recognizes it.
Sir, they shut down before we could complete our trace.
You have just passed all of your classes this semester.
Honey?
Yeah, they're so proud of him just for passing.
That the Soviet Union had launched a surprise missile attack.
Oh, I think he's realizing the gravity of the situation he's in right now.
Oh, Jesus, Jennifer. What am I gonna do? They're gonna come get me.
Throw the number away and don't call it again.
Yeah, you can't ignore your problems away, Jennifer.
God, this is so unbelievable. Listen, do you think maybe I can call Michelle and...
No, Jennifer, don't call her.
Sorry.
She likes danger. And she likes to take risks.
31 hours, 12 minutes.
52 hours left.
What is the primary goal?
You should know, Professor.
You should know, Professor. Being a smartass? Yeah, I think this is a film with a smaller budget, but with big ideas. And now he's being tracked by the government, for sure.
David Lightman, hold it right there, please, FBI.
I wonder whether David will rat Jennifer out, or how she comes into the picture. Because she technically is a co-conspirator.
Kid claims he was looking for a toy company.
What the hell is going on, John? I woke up the president. I told him we were under attack by the Russians. There's no way that a high school punk can put a dime in a telephone and break into our system.
But that's what happens in real life.
Sergeant, would you tell the OD I'm going to take David for a little walk?
This machine over here runs his game program.
Joshua. DEFCON? That indicates our current defense condition. Who are you going to Paris with?
Oh,
Who are you working with?
Nobody.
that makes him look even more suspicious.
I don't think I should say anything else until I talk to a lawyer.
The smartest thing he just said.
You stay here. Don't move.
You better not move, David. I know you like that computer, but don't get yourself in more trouble.
Take us to DEFCON 3 and get Sack on the line.
Stay away.
Are you still playing a game?
Of course, I should reach DEFCON 1 and...
This makes him even more suspicious.
Or is it real?
What's the difference?
Oh, wow.
And that is the main problem.
P5 tall Cedar Road.
Wait, is Falcon alive?
Kitchen, please. I think I know what's going on. Let me talk to him. He's right over there.
Yeah, he's going to MacGyver his way out of this situation, isn't he?
Please, let me talk to Mr. McKissick.
Was it that simple? Just to feed it different sounds?
1979.
Stop it.
Am I bothering you?
Yes.
Poor guard. He deserves to be in trouble.
Come on, David, you're just making it harder on yourself.
Right this way, folks.
Oh, it's that tour group we saw earlier.
Hi.
Bye now.
And we haven't seen Jennifer in a while, come to think of it. Can't believe he escaped that easily. Ah, I wonder how this worked. I miss the days before cell phones. There she is.
Listen, I'm in Colorado. Can you lend me some money?
Why? What's going on?
I can't talk about it right now.
The Soviets are denying any increase in their submarine deployment.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty straightforward story. I don't think there are too many complications.
Surprise.
You shouldn't have come here. I'm in real trouble.
Why? David, is this because of what you did with my grave?
Can't believe she just said that.
No, he's not dead. He left. That computer is trying to win the game that we asked it to play.
This is the first beautiful shot I've seen of the sunset.
Oh,
And there you go, that's Dr. Falcon.
wait, I came because of Joshua.
Confidence is high. Flight profile suggests Soviet backfire bombers.
Go to DEFCON 2.
Brass hat, we got nothing on radar and 40 miles visibility.
What the hell?
14 hours.
Nature just gave up and started again.
If Joshua tricks them into launching an attack, it'll be your fault.
Did you ever play tic-tac-toe?
Yeah.
But you don't anymore.
No.
Why?
Because it's a boring game. It's always a tie.
Yeah, once you know all the outcomes.
But back at the war room, they believe you can win a nuclear war, but there can be acceptable losses.
I'm not ready to die yet.
You won't make a simple phone call? You don't care about death because you're already dead. Come on, we'll find a boat.
Yeah, I think he's having a moral conundrum in his head. Less than 10 hours now.
Maybe we can swim for it.
It's 2-3 miles.
What do you say? Let's go for it.
No.
3 miles?
I can't swim.
And he can't swim.
I wish I didn't know about any of this.
Now you regret it?
I know. It's kind of stupid, huh?
She has a very beautiful smile. They finally get it on with 10 hours left for world destruction. It's Falcon himself. He did end up calling them.
We have a launch detection. We have a Soviet launch detection.
We are at DEFCON 1.
Oh crap.
Russians are still denying everything, sir.
Where are the guards? Where are the guards? I don't know why, but I find these are great shots.
John, good to see you.
It's a bluff, John. Call it off.
No, it's not a bluff. It's real.
Nobody's going to believe him.
Do you really believe that the enemy would attack without provocation, using so many missiles, bombers, and subs, so that we would have no choice but to totally annihilate them? General, you are listening to a machine.
Which he didn't trust in the first place. Even though you're a loudmouth, I still believe you're a rational person.
We have reason to believe they may not exist. Yes, sir. Stand by to launch missiles at my command. Sir.
I thought Whopper had the controls for the missiles.
3, 2, 1.
Anyone there?
Yeah, we're here.
They finally figured that it's a simulation.
Joshua, what are you doing? Whopper's not letting me log back on.
Oh, no, no, no.
Joshua's trying to find the right code so he can launch the missiles himself.
Oh. It doesn't have the launch codes, but it's using a brute force attack where it's just trying multiple different codes till it gets the right one.
Just unplug the goddamn thing.
Jesus Christ.
That won't work, General.
At this rate, it'll hit the launch codes in 5.3 minutes.
After very careful consideration, sir, I've come to the conclusion that your new defense system sucks.
He's got one.
Wants to play a game, then play it.
Let the boy in there, Major.
List games. Chess.
3 numbers locked in.
Oh no.
Global thermonuclear war.
Yeah, that's the program that's running already.
It's not on the list.
Go ahead. It's got to be in there somewhere.
Tick, tack.
Oh, it's the game that has no real winner because it always ends in a draw.
Is there any way to make it play itself?
Yes, number of players 0.
I think they're going to put it in a loop.
8.
General.
It crashed. NORAD. Whoever strikes first, it doesn't matter because there are no winners.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play.
There you go. The only winning move is not to play. That's a reference to MAD, Mutually Assured Destruction.
How about a nice game of chess?
And the film ends right here. That was a pretty good movie. I wouldn't say it was amazing or anything. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a fun movie. Again, I wouldn't say it was amazing or anything, but it did keep me entertained for almost 2 hours. I thought it would be a more serious film, but it wasn't. And I think it was better off for it. It was pretty good for what it was. Unapologetic 80s entertainment with colorful and entertaining characters. The best part of the film had to be the ideas of AI and machine learning, which were pretty true to life for today. All in all, the science and technology of the film, they were pretty grounded in reality, even though the director had to take some creative liberties with the story. I consider the strengths of the film to be its humor, the realistic depiction of AI and machine learning, the music, and the props and sets. Whereas the cinematography, numerous plot holes, and some of the acting choices. There were weaknesses in my books. Compared to the others, this is going to be more of a casual review since this was a pretty casual film. Let's start with the writing by Lawrence Lasker and Walter Parks, and the directing by John Badham. The plot of the film was pretty straightforward and simple, with the kids getting mixed up with America's defense system, almost causing a real nuclear war, before everything fixes itself when the machine learns that there are no winners in nuclear war, mutually assured destruction in a nutshell. This simple story is not a bad thing necessarily, since the director and writers brought a lot of humor out of the entire premise. I really thought it would be a more serious film, but it was mostly the story of David and Jennifer and the subplot involving their romance. Like I mentioned before, there were broad creative liberties taken in the name of storytelling, and it worked for the most part, although a lot of minor plot holes kept it from being considered an all-time classic in my books. For example, David escapes NORAD so easily, and no one chased after him, even though he was considered an enemy of the state. He was going to be charged with espionage. He was guarded by what, one guard? The fact that they literally broke back into NORAD, ramming the front gate, and nothing happened to them. Where were the guards in that scene? The fact that the computer could engage in natural dialogue with the characters, yet couldn't tell the difference between simulation and reality. Also, Whopper, the computer itself, was not capable of learning at the beginning of the film, but somehow started learning at the end. How did that work? What change in code made Whopper start learning? That's not explained, and there are quite a few others like that. Look, I'm not saying that it should all have been grounded in reality, true to life, but what I am saying is not everything aged well as I initially thought it would, if that makes any sense. A lot of things like the AI and the machine learning parts were pretty predictive and accurate to today's world, so that's a good thing. Badham's general directing skills were okay. He was pretty competent most of the time, but I saw nothing spectacular. His character development scenes were pretty bland, but they did the job. However, his music timings were pretty on point, and I'd consider that to be a pretty good strength of the film. The cinematography and editing of the film again were nothing to write home about, except a single shot of David and Jennifer on the ferry holding each other. Most of the shots were pretty normal. No creative use of camera angles or lenses, or no aggressive use of editing were seen anytime during the runtime. It wasn't bad by any means, since I had no troubles in following the plot, but again, it was nothing noteworthy. The music, as I mentioned before, was really good in the film. The score had great synth sounds complemented with decent drums to ramp up the tension when the director wanted. The sound design itself was rather accurate, as I am familiar with the sounds of computers from the late 80s and early 90s. Modems sounded true to life, and so did the sounds of the war room. So good work in this department overall. The sets and props were a highlight of the film for me. Probably the best part, since I loved seeing all those computers and how the lights blinked on and off and everything. The props were great and well made. The sets themselves were big and, again, very well made for the time, especially NORAD itself and those big locks and doors and stuff. They were pretty convincing. Whopper, the computer in question, was wonderfully made, and I like the fact that we actually got to see some magnetic tape computers. That was really fun. The acting in this film was also okay. Matthew Broderick played David, and Ali Sheedy played Jennifer. Both of them were competent in their roles, but I wouldn't call their performances anywhere close to their best. They were both better. Broderick was better in Bueller's Day Off, and Sheedy was better in The Breakfast Club. I think they were new to acting around this time, and that showed. Some of the line delivery by Broderick, especially when he's in his house talking to his parents or Jennifer, they were particularly weak, and I think Sheedy did a better job with the acting here, even though her character was not the brightest bulb in the drawer. Seriously, after seeing the FBI come and look for David, she still thought it may have something to do with changing their grades. But that is a subplot they didn't come back to as well. Anyways, among the other actors, my favorite character probably was that angry general, initially shown to be a rage-filled, bumbling man. He really did come through at the end and showed that he was a rational person, even though he was not very calm under pressure. All in all, the performances were decent, but it left a lot to be desired. I have mentioned the criticism before, like the plot holes, cinematography, and some of the performances, but that didn't take away from the overall entertainment the film provided. Overall, this was an unapologetic 80s film that I wouldn't consider a classic quite yet. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie though. The concepts of AI and machine learning were fascinating to see, the humor was on point, and the film did not take itself too seriously. John Badham was a somewhat competent director, and the acting by Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy was also pretty alright. Although it had its flaws, I still think this was a very good film to watch on a Sunday afternoon with a warm cup of coffee. I would highly recommend this for lovers of 80s films and technology. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you on the next one. Bye.